Ciao, I'm Connie Boyd, and I think and I hope that you know we launched our Magical Women channel, YouTube channel, and Facebook page in June of this year. The following clips are from shows I've been on to promote magical women.
Think about, in the world of magic, a female performer. She was a headliner in Vegas. She then went on to become a consultant, a mentor, a director, and now she is producing things globally. Have you figured it out? Well, you better pay attention. It is the one and only Connie Boyd.
Please say hello, Connie.
Hello, Jeff, and thank you so much for having me. This is a very, very important school lesson today.
Well, this is, you have decided years ago to basically take your fire and start illuminating other people's careers, and I applaud you for that.
Welcome to the Vanish family.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
What a career you've had too. It's incredible. 30 years, I think you said. Great article in the current Vanish magazine. Thanks for this. And I'm really excited about the upcoming series that we're going to do, that you're going to do, featuring Women in Magic. Can you just talk a little bit about that for us? What can we look forward to?
Well, Women in Magic actually started as a quarantine project during this pandemic, but it's evolved into, I think it's going to be a lifetime project. I noticed that there wasn't a place for Women in Magic, a source where you could actually go and find out about other women, successful women in all different genres of magic. And so I thought, well, I'll start by seeing if anybody would be interested. And because I have a captive audience right now, everyone wanted to participate. So it's actually the perfect opportunity to try to document these women. And we've had wonderful success. And it's just, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying understanding the challenges and the just life stories of all of these talented women and guests. And it's not just for women in magic, it's for all magicians. I think anyone that listens to the talks can relate to the challenges that these professionals are going through and have gone through.
And for this conference in magic, we're going to address digitalization in entertainment. We're going to break down the creation, launch, growth, and process of setting up a YouTube channel called Magical Women with Connie Boyd, and also the importance of branding. I think this digital transformation is happening in real time to everybody in 2020. We've seen the importance of social media. We've seen the importance of having Zoom and being able to communicate with people in real time. I'm able, when we've actually are working or we're working, I'm able to correct magic mistakes or teach somebody a magic an effect in real time, showing them in the camera what I need to, if they're having trouble with something, they're not understanding what I'm writing. In real time, you can show them, what you need them to do, and it's very valuable. So I think addressing digital transformation, because it has transformed this year in 2020 globally, the world.
Yeah, totally. I've seen some memes going around internet that said, who leveraged digital transformation in your company? Was the CEO, was the CFO, or was it COVID? And of course, it was COVID. Yes, we are living in a year that was totally unexpected and totally volatile, and we had to adapt. But I think digital has come to stay, and we really need to focus on improving and evolving.
Well, and this United Magicians for the World is a great example, because the actual convention, the first convention in May, and then the second one have been canceled. And yet they're able to put this together and to hopefully be able to help struggling young magicians who really have been hit hard by this pandemic. Everyone in the entertainment community has been hit by the pandemic, but young artists starting out, this is really important what they're doing. So United Magicians for the World is a perfect example of digital transformation. And so I think this is where we are.
Yeah, you said it. You said it is like that.
Let's go back and talk about magical women and how this madness started, because I think part of trying to share with the magicians, I think first of all you have to recognize what is it that you want to do and who are you. And so with magical women, it was recognizing a place in the world that didn't exist, and that was a source to document women in magic in 2020. So we recognized a void, and we're filling that void. And I think it also translates to magicians, because if you are a performer, you need to assess what it is that you are trying to present, whether it's your image, whether it's your style of magic, and you have to find a way or recognize what makes you unique. We all don't have the same look, and we don't have all the same skill set, but that doesn't mean you can't have success. I think it's really important to analyze what it is that you bring to the table, and be honest and truthful. Tina Leonard in her talk goes into depth about Mr. Mopman and creating that. And she says, I wasn't a glamorous, sophisticated model look. So how did I use what I have and make it something that's remarkable and memorable? And that she excelled. And so I think if we can just go back and you can just tell the viewers a little bit about how we started with Magical Women.
I think you've told the story that we were both in quarantine. I think I was the first one being quarantined in the world, because I was in Milan in February. You called me and said, okay, I have this project. Are you interested? And of course, coming from you and seeing the beautiful, beautiful thing that you had in hands, I said, of course, like I have to be part of this. Remember, we started in that same phone call, we started talking about the name. It had to be catchy. It had to be easy to remember. It had to be available as well. We took in consideration, like, for example, what happens if someone looks for it in Google. What happens with the social media channels, everything, and then we came up with Magical Women. I started creating the logo from scratch. So what I did is that I took elements from your personal brand, Connie Boyd Magic's brand, and I took the colors, and I took I remember like the female silhouette and the magical women word, and I remember making a logo with a microphone. And then one day you told me that you were driving, and then you saw something in a billboard, and then you sketched the lips, and then you say, "What about this?" And then I said, yes, I think it's there. I think we have it. In that moment, I started like sketching in the computer already, and I came up with really awful proposals, but I knew that there was something there. I admire a lot of tattoo artists from Berlin that is called Mo Hanji. He does single lines tattoos. And I said, I think I have to work with this. And I started looking at the single line lips. So first they were in black and white. And then I said, okay, this needs some color because Magical Women can't be black and white. And then I put the red bold lipstick. And then the other part was just part of the whole color palette. So that's basically, in a nutshell, how everything started.
And we have a very distinctive logo. And then you suggested that we have distinctive music with it. So for the viewers at home, if, for example, you think of Netflix or you think of HBO, they have a sound that when you hear that sound, you think of their channel. And so you suggested to do the same thing for our brand and our channel. And so we have a distinctive piece of music that is royalty free, because you always want to use royalty free music so you don't have problems on YouTube or any other networks as far as copyright claims. And so we created a royalty free piece of music that goes with the brand. And that was your suggestion as well. And it was a really important suggestion to add music to the brand.
I think we came up with a really nice intro, also with the music, now that you mentioned it, yes. I think the music happened contemporary with the intro, with the animation of the lips. The whole element is beautiful and is remarkable. Like, it's a great, like, memorable element. So I think that's key also for our brand.
Just again, going back to the magicians that are watching. So we created a brand that was distinctive because we're women and we wear lipstick and we are known for lips. And so that's how we created our brand. So try to use that idea and go forward with your magic and your brand. And you know, it might be something like playing cards, but maybe it's a specific playing card unique to you. For example, Ekaterina has her own brand of fox playing cards, which I have actually right here. So she has her own playing cards. That's her brand, Red Fox. So very, very important branding. I'd say that's probably, of course, you have to have a skill set. You can have all the branding in the world. If you don't have a skill set, a good skill set, then the brand isn't going to help you very much. But it's important that you consider branding when you're putting together your show or your act. It's vital to success. Now, you touched a little bit, Laura, on SEO. Can you explain to the viewers what SEO is and why it's so important when creating websites or even your own promo, like your video promo? Why is that important?
Yeah, well, I think we all know that the first thing that we do when we think about something or when we want to search for something is we Google it. Like we Google is all over the place, like all over, and we really need to focus on being there, like being visible for Google. But one of the main things to keep in mind is to be reachable. That if someone wants to look for you, it's very rare that they will look for your exact name, or they won't look for magical women. They will look, or maybe they won't look for Connie Boyd magic. Maybe they will look for female magicians, or for women in magic, or for just magic tricks. So you really want to be discoverable with this kind of keywords. And this brings traffic to your website or any of the things that you have online. So that's keywords, and SEO is very, very important for your brand.
And how do you find those keywords? How could a magician that's just starting, how would they find the keywords, and how would they know how to use them?
Okay, there are two possibilities. One is that you do it yourself, and then you start analyzing everything that for example, what your competitors do. If you see that or if you have someone that you admire, you go and you search for what they do, or what are the keywords they are using. Another one is to have like a brand strategy, like a digital marketing strategy, and then someone else can, like an expert on that, can go with you, like I tell you, take you by the hand and say, okay, you can do this or you can't do this. Also, you can pay, of course, for ads. You can do a lot of things, but the important thing is that there are some things that you can do yourself, but there are some others that I would really, really recommend to hire a professional. Because as I think Franz Harari said to you in I think maybe we will show it in this conference.
You know, I have seen your production, and not that I'm proud to say this, but I think that your operation is a whole lot slicker than mine. I mean, what you're doing, it looks great. Very, very impressive. Clearly, there is some pre-production into every one of your shows. So, little golf plus for you right there.
Thank you.
You notice when there is someone professional behind the brand, or when you do it yourself. Of course, when you are starting, when you have a small business, you don't have the budget to to hire a professional.
I know myself, when we started this, before I even contacted you, I went online and I watched a lot of YouTube tutorials about setting up a channel. And there's a lot of free information out there that you have access to, and you just take notes. And so it helped me to be a little bit more informed. So when I connected with you, I wasn't wasting your time. And I also had a little bit more knowledge about how to set up a YouTube channel. One of the things that a lot of people struggle with is content. And I think that's the same thing as when you structure your act, you have to have solid content, because if you don't have content for your performance, then it's not going to be interesting and it's not going to be marketable. So the same thing applied when we were creating a YouTube channel. So we were trying very hard to have quality content. And it's remarkable because in 2020, there are more women in magic, female magicians, than there ever have been in my entire lifetime. So I think that that's really exciting. And so we have a smorgasbord, a huge amount of content that is available to us. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I think the key to success in any kind of digital strategy is valuable content. And what happens with magical women locally, and well, okay, it's not luck, it's work actually. The fact that we have the content, like the content is there, is valuable, is interesting. I see it for example, from a non-magician's perspective, and I found it very, very useful and inspiring. From the beginning, you had remarkable content. And I remember that when we were back in June, I think when we were launching the channel and we started planning, we realized we went on and on with months and months, and we said, wow, we have content for months.
One of the other things that's important for a YouTube channel is to be consistent. So if you say you're going to do a weekly guest talk, you must do a weekly guest talk so that the people following you can rely on you. And so you have an addition to having quality content, you also have to be consistent with your uploads, whether it's daily, weekly, whatever you choose to do. But it's very important to be consistent, I think, as well. So that was another point that we've learned along the way.
Yes, but not only for YouTube. I think for all social media, you have to be consistent, and you have to be consistent in your type of content, but also in the timing that you're posting. Because if your audience will expect something from you and then you don't get it, you start losing them. This is something I really say to my clients, like, don't start posting 3 times a day because you had the content of maybe you did a photo shoot, so that you want to put everything in the first week. Okay, because if you're gonna run out of content in a month, and then you're gonna be for 2 months without posting anything, so don't do it at all. That's why it's important to plan and to have an editorial plan. I'm very proud of our editorial plan because it has been very consistent and very professional from the beginning, from both sides. And we have followed that since June, since we started. But another important thing about the editorial plan, for example, is that this is not written in stone. Like, you plan something, you plan your month or 2 months or something, or even just a week. But then if something comes up, don't say, oh, we can't do this because we had planned this. No. You have to evaluate every time.
One of the best examples is, it happened in August. We had our editorial plan, and then Carissa Hendricks won the Academy of Magical Arts Award. And so we completely reversed and promoted that because it was remarkable. And we were very proud of her. On Sunday, August 23rd, 2020, the Academy of Magical Arts broadcast their annual awards ceremony, hosted by Max Maven for the first time in a virtual format. We're thrilled that so many important women in magic, such as Lisa Mena, Laura Aviles Ruda, Erica Larson, and Carissa Hendricks were among the award recipients.
Good evening. I'm Christopher Hart, Magician Trustee, here to present the award for Stage Magician of the Year. And the winner of Stage Magician of the Year, Lucy Darling. Congratulations, Lucy, on a well-deserved award.
Thank you so much. I think I had to read this email 6 times before I believed in myself. I might still be in shock, but Jean usually helps with that. Thank you so much to the membership for voting for me. I am overwhelmed at this honor. I mean, my home is usually the road and the stage, and lately I felt a little rootless, but something like this really reminds you where your home truly is. Congratulations to all the other nominees, especially those in this particular category. The hilarious Chipolo, the unbelievable Dave Kovac, of course Gregory Wilson, and perhaps my favorite human being in the entire world, Lindsay Benner. To all of you I want to say, I love you, thank you, and to the other nominees I want you to know, I have crushed you all with my enormous talent. I'll see you at the bar.
That's a perfect example of finding out and readjusting and re-editing and putting something quickly together.
That was super unexpected. I think that happened on a Sunday, and then on Monday we already had to prepare the post and everything super fast, because usually we are like very organized and then we plan everything ahead. And I remember that day that we had to do everything fast and furious and then publish, but everything was great, and I think she was very grateful as well. Now that you mentioned Carissa, I think it's a case study for entertainment industry, because I know that this industry was the one more impacted by COVID. So then you have to reinvent yourself. You have to pivot. You are the first example with Magical Women, but also when I saw Carissa's Zoom show, I was very, very impressed. She really, really nailed the fact that she could put something off a stage and bring it to the digital. So that was very, very impressive.
We've been watching her show evolve, and she and her 2 roommates, Miranda and I think it's Richard, they've really worked hard and they're really dedicated to fine-tuning that show. But it is a success, and it is, and they're selling tickets, and it's interactive. And I honestly believe it is the future. Carissa Hendricks and Lucy Darling are very good and very well informed with social media platforms, and continue to evolve. And I think that's a key point. One of the other things that are important when we were going through and structuring the YouTube channel, it was the importance of having a teaser, a strong teaser, so that when people come to your page, when they actually click on the page, that there's something there that engages them, that makes them want to watch more. And I think for magicians in general, that reflects on your promo. So you want to have promo and material, your short promo that's little clips possibly, or a full routine that's very engaging. That's vital to your success. So another thing that we want to kind of touch upon is having an important teaser or an important promo that shouldn't be more than 2 minutes.
A designer promotes himself with a reel promo that is also a 2-minute long video. So it's the exact same thing. It's like your CV that you put together, in this case in YouTube. And I think that's very, very important, because it's the first thing that someone that doesn't know you or doesn't know your brand is like the first impression that you will have.
So I would spend a lot of time and energy once you have a solid, strong act and you know what you're selling. Then I would really definitely spend the time and energy to have a very strong promo with clips, so a non-magician can understand what you're doing. Sometimes with magicians we get clever and we cut too short, and non-magicians don't quite understand what the missing links are. So you want to remember that your market is also for magicians and non-magicians. A lot of your buyers, if you're using your promo reel to get work, a lot of buyers, they don't know magic. So they don't have an understanding of magic. So you've got to present it in a very interesting way so that you can, within 30 seconds, they understand what your look is, what your type of magic is, what your style is, and they want to see more.
Yeah, sure. I think you have to keep in mind that's something that you mentioned, your audience. Who are you talking to? because it's a different promo, as you said. If you know that you're going to a magic conference, okay, so you know that people in the field will know about some things. But if you have a YouTube channel, you want to engage not only magicians, but people who are interested in the things you're talking about. So I think the important thing about not only the teaser, but everything in your brand is that you have to keep a focus on your audience and the kind of users you're talking to.
Now, this is your area of expertise. I dabbled in it in the beginning, and thankfully you took over. Can you explain what a thumbnail is and the importance of thumbnails?
Thumbnail is the first thing that you see on a video. When you are scrolling down YouTube, you see all the previews of a video. So if you don't have a thumbnail, usually what YouTube takes is that it takes a frame from your video and then you see that. You have to take advantage of that thing that the people is watching while scrolling. And that's the first thing that engages the audience to watch. Actually, there's two things, the thumbnails and the title. People is visual, and now in social media era, we are all scrolling in our devices. So that's the importance about having a good thumbnail with a good call to action or a good explanation of what the video is about.
The colors you use, the graphics you use, those are all key to getting people to be interested to click on it. And I think going back to Diana Zimmerman, she mentored a magician named Collins Key. Collins Key has a 22 million viewer subscriber following. And if you look at his thumbnails, they're quite distinctive, and he has a very distinctive brand. So as we're talking through this, you'll see that they're all kind of interconnected. So having a good brand, having a good teaser, having a good thumbnails, having good content, being consistent, those are all the things that are really important that Laura's just, been nailing home.
Yes, step by step, we have to focus on every single element.
Yeah, I know some of the younger magicians that I have been chatting with. A lot of them, they take photos of their presets. So everything's done digitally. So I think this digital transformation, it is happening in real time to everybody in 2020. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. Come on, you can do it. It takes less than a few seconds, and it's really important to us to increase our subscribers for YouTube. So please hit subscribe and notifications buttons and bells now.